Hello, it's Dana again, and I am answering another Ask Dana question. And the Ask Dana question is, how have your studies of various religions informed your personal practice? Well, I am Professor Emeritus of Philosophy and World Religions at the Maine College of Art, Portland, Maine. And for more than 20 years, I was the World Religions and Asian Religions adjunct professor at the Bangor Theological Seminary. So academics, in many ways, is my spiritual practice, and I'll say more about that in just a moment. But I began as a practitioner, and what I mean by that is way back in 1969, I met Swami Satchidananda and became very interested in yoga and meditation. And then later I became a teacher of transcendental meditation, which some of you will remember from Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. He was the Beatles guru and all of that. So I was a practitioner first, and I was a seeker, and I was very interested in digging deeper into Hinduism specifically at that time, and later Mahayana Buddhism, for my own spiritual growth. So I had an opportunity to do a graduate degree at the University of Hawaii first, and I took that opportunity and I started studying Sanskrit, and then I became interested in world religions in general. And as I started studying world religions, I was very influenced by somebody named Huston Smith, who a lot of you may know. He wrote a book called The World's Religions, and he ended up becoming a friend of mine eventually. But when I read his book, as I would read each chapter, it was almost like he was some kind of serial believer or something, because it seemed like he changed his mind in every chapter. Because in every chapter, he would describe that religion, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, whatever it was, in such a way that you would say, I can entirely see why somebody would be that, would be a Muslim, would be a Christian. Those are noble goals, ideals that they're shooting for. And it created a kind of confusion in my mind. But I realized over time, studying world religions, that as that confusion grew, it actually became part of my spiritual practice to be confused. An analogy that I use sometimes to make this point is, imagine you went into a giant cavern and you had a candle, and you were trying to find your way around in this giant cavern with a candle. But then you were given a torch, a nice big torch. And with that big torch, you could see more, but you could also realize how enormous the darkness was. And more knowledge about the world's religions. And as this confusion got created, I realized I was understanding the questions, life's questions, in a much richer, deeper way. And that was like the big torch. They revealed some insight, but they also revealed a lot of mystery, a lot of darkness. How big, if we ask a question like, what is the meaning of life? Wow. I've been working on that question for 50 years. I know some of you have too. And I'm still working on it. So mystery became uncovering more mystery. And as I did, also having more patience for other people's perspective, realizing, wow, there are a lot of ways to see things. And in my first seeker mind, I had really drank a lot of Kool-Aid and was seeing the world with blinkers on and processing in only one way. So having an openness to another way and another way and another way is very useful. And we always have a litmus test, do we not? Is that working for us? Is that giving us traction in our life? And that litmus test is, are we nicer now? Are we kinder now? Are we more thankful? You've heard the saying, let gratitude be your attitude. There's a lot of wisdom in that. And the world will tell us whether we're getting anywhere, if we are getting kinder and more thankful. I always love in Islam, Muslims say that when Muhammad came back from the mountain and claimed that the angel Gabriel was talking to him and dictating information to him, Muslims say his wife would have known if he was lying. So he must have been telling the truth because she became his first convert. So the world will tell us whether we're getting somewhere. Anyway, there's my answer to the Ask Dana question of today.